There's just so much.
You're listening to a Mamamia podcast.
Mamamia acknowledges the traditional owners of the land we have recorded this podcast on, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. We pay our respects to their elders, past and present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures.
Hello and welcome to Cancelled, the podcast about the people the internet has turned on. I didn't get cancelled this week, but I received some criticism. What about? And one thing I really hate on the internet is when people address really niche criticism about themselves and get kind of up in arms. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'd like to do for a moment. Because it matters. When it's you, it matters.
Yeah.
Remember when I broke my leg?
Yeah.
People think I talk about it too much.
I agree. Trolls writing about that would be me.
I snapped my tibia.
Oh my God. It's actually not relevant to this podcast.
Pain relief for 8 hours. I was in hospital. Thought I was going to die. Thought I had a blood clot.
Oh my God.
Came back to work a week later, mentioned it, and everyone's like, shut up.
Shut up, bitch.
I'm sorry, I'm traumatised.
Oh, you need to chill. You need to chill.
I mentioned it a few times because I couldn't stop crying.
I have to say, some insults that I get online, I try to do a bit of the TikTok. And the thing about TikTok is that the insults are incredibly creative. And often
the young people are good.
The young people are good. People will be like, you speak so slowly and like I don't understand what you're saying. And I'm like, that's interesting. I thought I spoke too fast. But somebody left this comment. I still don't understand. It's like, do you light up your whole house with electricity with that face? And I'm like, do I look shiny? Am I orange? Is it my forehead?
Maybe
it's usually about my
clarify.
forehead.
Just say, could you clarify? Because I can't stop thinking about it. Thanks for the engagement. Would just love some clarity.
I'd love to know what you meant by that insult.
Sometimes your hair can look quite
aggressively messy.
Yeah. So maybe they think you're electric.
It's like one time there was a photo of me and you and somebody commented saying one of you's had Botox and your teeth done and it shows. And I'm like, which one? But I didn't ask.
I love the internet. So what we do when we spend too much time on the internet is we start a podcast called Cancelled, where we talk about celebrities who the internet has turned on. I'm Jessie Stevens.
I'm Claire Stevens.
And this is part 2 of our series on a little-known woman
named Kimmy K.
No, Kimberly Knoll.
Kimberly Knoll Kardashian.
I'm allowed to do whatever I want. You guys are not good businesswomen. You don't know anything about business.
So one of my bathrooms has to be different because you took my 10 marble slabs. I need to now buy 7 slabs of marble, or I have to change 2 of my bathrooms because I can't have my whole house be 1 marble and then 2 rooms, another marble.
She's the least exciting to look at.
My structure is as follows. Photoshop fails. Constant cultural appropriation. Telling everyone they're lazy. The Marilyn dress conundrum, and telling an interviewer she needs Botox, and related crimes. Okay, there's a lot to get through. Let's get right in. Kim really likes Photoshop. I think it's a hobby. She would have so many apps, and she talks about it.
Like, what I don't understand about people going, oh, she photoshopped that image. It's like, she's had a lot done to her face.
Yeah.
Which is fine. She goes and changes her hair, says how much she cares about her appearance. Love that. Great. You do you. Why are we surprised when she tweaks a thigh?
It's like
it's very on brand and consistent with her.
The woman's an avatar. The woman is no longer. If you're looking to her thinking you're going to get realistic bodies, you're going to be disappointed.
And the one time she did turn up to an award show, heavily pregnant.
Which she couldn't Photoshop. It's really hard to Photoshop an unborn baby out of your own body. Live.
It's on Getty. It's on Getty. What did we do? We call her Mrs. Doubtfire. And we
called her a couch.
We photoshopped her into a couch and we put a picture of her next to Homer Simpson in his moo-moo.
And then she refused to ever have a biological baby again.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
And there was the one where she was wearing the shift dress, black and white shift dress, killer whale next to her. And then she photoshops her thigh and it's like, last time she didn't, you called her a killer whale.
Yeah. So I don't know what we're really expecting here. But my favourite thing about Kimmy is that she doesn't just Photoshop herself. It's always been my favourite thing. Okay? Let's start.
What a wing woman. I'd love if she photoshopped
I know.
me.
I'd be like, can you take a terrible, no makeup, don't even bother.
Fix it.
Fix it. Make me look like a Kardashian. In 2018, Kim posts this on her Instagram. Jess, me and you have both talked about how we're really bad at spotting issues.
I always look at the red circle and the red arrow and I'm like, I don't see it.
But hopefully you can spot this. Look at this picture. I want to see how long it takes
top
you
one?
to get it. Yep.
All
The
right,
clue
I
is
see.
don't look at Kim. It's not Kim.
Okay. It's Kim.
It's not
car
Kim.
park?
It's the background. What she photoshopped in the background.
Sorry, it just occurred to me. Has she photoshopped it? And I don't know how to explain what I'm looking at, but it's like the Matrix is falling in on itself. It's a car that's been chopped in half and now it's just like 4 wheels but no car.
It's a mirror image. It's like if you had a mirror halfway in a car. It's like doubled the photo.
But why did she do that?
It's honestly like the upside down in Stranger Things. It's actually quite terrifying. So she posts that and everyone goes, Photoshop fail. There's a car that's no longer a car. The background of your photo. It's not even about you. It's just that.
Yeah.
But then you start thinking, well, if you've made a car into a supernatural buggy, then what have you done to you? I thought you looked like you normally do. She says it's very silly to say she suffered a Photoshop fail because she just reposted from a fan and added a filter. But my question is, lady, why didn't you notice the car? No one's ever tagged me in a photo and I've reposted. That's never happened. But I would just do a quick scan. Is the world falling
Is
in
there
on
a
itself?
dead body in the background?
No, there's not. I'll repost. Anyway, just very odd. Then, in 2019, Kim shares this photo to promote her perfume collaboration with Kylie. Jess, look at the second foot. The second foot zoomed in. I need you to count the toes. How many are there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Why are there
6 toes? And here's the thing, there is only one big toe.
Yeah.
But there's 5 other
Something's
toes.
gone wrong.
I would say, because people are asking, oh, where's the added toe? She's added a middle toe. She's not added a little toe or a big toe. She's added a middle toe, which you could easily overlook. There's one that I found where she just cut a chunk out of her calf for no reason. It's just like an inverted calf.
An indent. And it's like that was clearly a mistake in your Photoshop app. You've downloaded the wrong one. You've got several.
I think that she does things very quickly.
Yeah.
She's a busy woman.
Slapdash.
She's she's multitasking. She's a mother. Doesn't she have like 4 kids or something? So she's on Canva.
She's like eyebrows, lashes, hair, teeth, toe. honey, leave the toes. No one needs that.
I wonder what she was covering.
I don't know, but it does.
Maybe a
make you
toe
wonder.
gap and she just... oh, well, let's chuck another toe in there just to cover up the gap.
But my favourite is when she photoshops children. Because in 2020, Kim was accused of photoshopping North to look slimmer. North was like 7. Jessie, have a look at this. What do you see in the before and after?
Well, her shorts are a different colour.
I always find weird when people are like before and after and they've just changed the colour.
Maybe her stomach is a little flatter. Sorry, it's a child. I can't.
I can't. Sorry, it's a 7-year-old. Why are we looking at her belly in the first place? It looks like she's elongated north is what it looks like. That was posted by an Instagram account and it was never kind of verified, but I don't know if they reverse Photoshopped. I don't know what they did. But you'd think she's a mother. She'd never Photoshop a child. No. In 2021, Kim posted photos of her daughter Chicago at Disneyland with Chloe's daughter True. Someone on TikTok was like, that photo looks weird. I don't think that's actually true. And it's like, oh, come on, that's ridiculous. It's a photo of 2 children. Kim admitted that, yeah, it was actually Stormy and she had photoshopped True's face onto Stormy's body.
Why?
Because she wanted to post the photo and she asked Kylie, and Kylie was feeling weird about sharing photos of Stormy at that time, and Kim thought it was a cute photo, so she wanted to share it. So she turned it into a photo of Chicago and True. Jessie, can you imagine if we look back on childhood photos and we're like, oh, cute photo of us. Mum's like, that's not you, that's another child. I superimpose your face.
The thing that I can't stop thinking about here, why doesn't Kim Kardashian have someone doing this for her?
I know.
Because it does sound a lot like she's editing on her phone. Pictures for
or
Insta.
even just giving the instruction. Yeah. Hi, this is a photo of Chicago and her cousin. I'm going to need this replaced with another cousin, okay? Okay. Just don't share the photo. It's a fine photo of Chicago. It's not
The best.
feed worthy. In my opinion, she's not even looking at the camera. She's looking down.
Well, they're saying that I'm cultural appropriating.
Do you think it's going to hurt your business?
We would lose like $10 million.
What?
Moving on to appropriation of many kinds. Kim's crime generally does seem to be a complete obliviousness. And she's repeatedly been called out for cultural appropriation. Remember Kim's 2014 Paper magazine cover where she's popping the champagne and she's balancing the glass on her bum?
Yep.
I never knew this, but when I researched it, it bore a striking resemblance to these historical photos of a woman named Saatchi Baartman. And
Well, she didn't know that.
no, and that's what I mean about total obliviousness.
Yes.
But clearly the creative director, artistic director, whoever did this, it was based on this woman. And this woman...
What's wrong with that?
Because this woman was an African woman and she had... Her proportions were really interesting. It's become a story, especially in America, it's more well known, where it's a symbol of racism and colonisation and objectification of the black female body. And it was almost like she got paraded around and she would go to shows and people could pay to touch her.
Like a freak show.
Like a freak show.
If that magazine cover had been a black woman and it was about like repositioning the black woman's body
Yes.
as a black woman, then that would have been a really cool thing to do. But Kim's not black.
A, she's not black, and B, she leans into the ambiguity about her race. She does a lot of tan, she does a lot of that stuff.
Because people will say, oh, she's Armenian, and so olive skin can be part of her ethnicity, but you're saying that she's sort of playing that up, especially on that cover. It's meant to sort of look like a black woman.
Yes. Over the years, the Kardashians, and Kim in particular, has been criticised for what people call like digital blackface. The way she edits her photos and the way she does her makeup sometimes honestly makes it look like she is a different race. So in 2017, in an ad for her Kim Kardashian West beauty line, she posted this photo to promote the cream contour and highlight kit. Describe that to me.
Like you can say that she's Armenian, but she's very dark there, which can be lighting and makeup, but I see what you mean about how she's leaning into that.
Yes. And people kind of said that that was quite intentional. Basically, everyone was like, dude, you look black. And you're not black.
And what I don't get, when you do something, for example, Kim might do a photo shoot and she might go really dark with the fake tan, contour, whatever it is. You can't know what you don't know. If you don't know back in 2008 that that's offensive and that there's a group of people who are going, you're profiting off something that, you know, we've been discriminated against for centuries, you can't know what you don't know. But once it's pointed out to you, then what I don't understand is the keeping on doing the thing.
Yes, that's the thing about Kim, is that she seems to just be like, nah, and just keeps on doing it. So she ultimately said it was the lighting that made her skin appear that way and that she was very tan at the time. She eventually said she was sorry. In 2018, she got really into braids.
Yeah, that's where I struggle.
So we've had all these successive issues. She wore Fulani braids to the MTV Awards, which were made popular by the Fulani people in Africa, but she described them as Bo Derek braids, and Bo Derek is a white actress who had braids. So it's like, it's literally like being like, let's erase hundreds of years of history and instead let's talk about the one white woman who did this, but she copied it.
We look back, I've spoken to friends about this, and the people who used to go to Bali and come back with the braids and we go, we cannot believe it was only 20 years ago. That's what everyone was doing. But you don't do that now.
People explained it really clearly and just basically said, we're mad because when Kim wears styles like these, they get praised. But when black women do it, we get told that it's unprofessional or we look unkempt or that we're a distraction. That's what we're mad about. Kim explained that her daughter North, who is black, had wanted braids and asked if they could do them together. And
oh, that's complicated.
She said she does it as a way of honouring her daughter's biracial hair, which does make it really complicated, I think. Because you can imagine your daughter being like, Mum, like, let's do our hair together.
That's more complicated than Kim Kardashian wearing a kimono. Am I wrong or has that happened?
You're so close and I'm about to get there.
Okay.
There was a funny tweet in 2018 that said, I just saw a post that said, every time Kim Kardashian don't get attention, she put in box braids. And I'm like, yeah, that
She does.
I think she does this stuff for attention. I think when she launches her skincare brand, she's like, let's just, maybe not her, but somebody around her. In 2019, she launches her shapewear brand, which she intended to call Kimono because her name is Kim.
And she does like that.
She likes Kimoji, these sorts of things. A lot of people accuse her of cultural appropriation because A, she was inserting her name into the name of a traditional and historically significant Japanese dress, and B, she was associating that dress with underwear. Quite quickly, she announced she'd be changing the name.
I like that.
She changed it to Skims. But that honestly makes me think, did you do it on purpose? Did you launch it as Kimono so that everybody would talk about it? Everybody would know what it is.
What year was the kimono thing? Did you say 2019?
2019.
Yeah, it's quite recent.
It is quite, and after
Some
a lot
would
of
say
controversy.
too recent.
But
But she changed it. So
She did
credit
change it.
where credit's due. Kimmy K? Kimmy Knoll?
Next, in an interview with Vanity Fair in March, the Kardashian sisters were asked what advice they'd give to women in business. Kim claimed to have the best advice, which was,
Get your fucking ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
All she does on Keeping Up with the Kardashians is decidedly not work.
just eating salad.
She does things such as eat salad from Big Bowl. Like, it would take you 45 minutes to finish that salad.
They're always renovating their houses.
They're always renovating. She's always driving with a big iced coffee.
always getting her makeup done.
I know that there's cameras there, but in a traditional sense.
It's not a job as, say, our grandparents would have defined it.
No.
Jess, I want you to read out a couple of these reactions to that because, as you can imagine, people didn't love it.
No.
People didn't love being yelled at.
It did remind me of when my mum says, when I was a kid, and mum would be like, eat your vegetables. And I was like, well, I was going to eat my vegetables, but now I won't.
Okay.
It made me go, oh, I don't want to work tomorrow. I was like halfway through this podcast, it's like, well, let's not finish it. Yeah. You can tell me what to do? No. This tweet says, Kim Kardashian is not wrong. I don't want to work and I don't want to own a business. I don't want her hassles. Her TV show looks exhausting. I don't want to wear the clothes she wears. They look uncomfortable. I want to eat my potatoes and be left alone. I agree, Sassy Little Hobbit.
I agree.
That's the person's name, Sassy Little Hobbit.
Yeah.
Then we've got Kim Kardashian giving business advice, and it is Paris Hilton arms up with the infamous singlet, Stop Being Poor. Is that photoshopped?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stop it. It's funny, though.
It's funny. It's funny.
Okay, well, I've got another tweet. Okay. Kim Kardashian, quote, nobody wants to work these days. And then this is the response. Everyone working 40-plus hour weeks and earning minimum wage. No shit. So true. No shit, we don't want to work. We're burnt out from the pandemic.
People also pointed out that her dad did leave the family $100 million when he died. So she did grow up in a smaller mansion, definitely not in any way in a position that meant that she had to work hard to earn her wealth. There was also the problem of previous employees coming out about what it was like to work for Kim, which is always going to be the issue. And a woman named Jessica DeFino said that she was an editor on the Kardashian apps in 2015. She worked days, nights and weekends, could only afford groceries from the 99 cents only store. She called out sick because she couldn't get gas in her car to get to the office and was reprimanded for freelancing on the side.
Okay.
That's not a good look, Kimmy.
She's trying to work.
She's trying to work and you won't let her. It's not great. Jess, we need to talk about the Marilyn Monroe dress conundrum. In May of this year, Kim Kardashian turned up to the Met Gala wearing a dress famously worn and custom made for Marilyn Monroe. People were angry about so many things, it's hard to know where to begin. When she was interviewed on the red carpet, she said she had lost several kilos in the last 3 weeks in order to fit into the dress.
This is what I mean when we were talking about the lollipop last week. Everyone was so angry because she said exactly how much weight she lost to get into this dress and how she did it. And then she said that her psoriasis flared up. She couldn't move her hands. And there was people going, this is dangerous. And there were people going, let her be. It's just like an athlete. And I was going,
She lost her earring in Bora Bora. Again, I just can't have a feeling about this.
No.
Did we expect anything more?
No.
She has never been unclear about who she is and what her priorities are.
No.
Kim, why would you want to lose weight? Because I want to be skinnier. Why? To fit into this dress. Why? Because I really care about how I look. Like a lot.
And I like this dress because it was worn by another beautiful woman who I relate with because I'm also beautiful.
And why do you love Marilyn Monroe so much? I don't know anything about it. Do you think Kim Kardashian's watched a Marilyn Monroe film? No. Has she read a biography? No. She goes, I like that lady's lipstick.
I like the sparkly dress.
She'd have looked great in Skims.
Yeah. That's what Kim thinks. She talked about wearing a sauna suit twice a day and running on the treadmill and
so she started eating meat again.
Yeah.
Which is why her psoriasis flared up.
And you're right. She was unable to move her hands properly. Then, of course, there was the secondary problem of it feeling icky for her to wear the dress in the first place. Jessie, you know a little bit about the weird commodification of Marilyn Monroe.
So the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum purchased the Marilyn Monroe dress. I can't work out who asked. I imagine that Kim Kardashian was like,
she asked.
Yeah, I might wear that.
Yeah.
And then they were like, you don't fit. And she was like, hold my
Leave it to me.
beer. Yeah.
Hold my dress.
Hold my dress. I've got it. What they did at the Ripley's Believe It or Not place was, why Ripley's Believe It or Not have that dress?
It's historical in that it's kept in like a temperature
Ripley's
control.
Believe It or Not is a joke. Isn't it? It's a television show.
Yeah, no, but
It's got a whole lot of wax figures and stuff.
Yeah.
Why has it got Marilyn's dress?
I don't know, but people got really upset.
Yes. What they also gave her was a lock of Marilyn Monroe's hair.
That was weird.
Which they believe was actually taken by like the mortician, the person who did the autopsy, who just cut Marilyn's hair and gave it to his wife as a little prezi because it was Marilyn. She has been so grossly objectified in life and in death. She was not a happy woman. She felt incredibly uncomfortable about the way that people leered at her and talked about her. No one cares about the fact that she was unhappy, just that she was really, really pretty.
Yeah.
And Kim Kardashian is perpetuating that. That dress that she wore, which is, whether we like it or not, a historical artifact now. I mean, sequins fell off.
Yeah, so at the beginning of June, photos taken by a collector show damage to the dress, the fabric is stretched, and there are missing crystals.
And no one wants to tell a woman, you stretched it.
You stretched it. You stretched the
We've all
dress.
been there. We've all borrowed something off a friend and given it back and they've gone, oh, it doesn't fit me anymore. You
Yeah.
stretched it. It's not a good feeling.
But it wasn't a historical dress that was custom made for another woman.
The hooks are all like skewed now.
Which she says it wasn't her, which is awkward because it's like, sweetie, nobody else wore it. She's like, I only wore it for like 3 or 4 minutes.
Because she wore it walking up the steps.
Yeah.
So it was all that moving. You could tell.
And what I found interesting, you know how she wore the fur? She wore a fur over the top, and apparently she wore that because it wouldn't do up at the back. I'm like, then my question is, did it fit?
Great question.
I don't think it fit,
Yeah.
sweetie. You shouldn't feel bad about yourself. That's
I've
no
gone
judgment.
to weddings in dresses that don't do up.
But it's also like when something's custom made for another person,
it often doesn't fit.
It often doesn't fit. Finally, Jess telling an interviewer she needs Botox. She's had an active couple of months. Kim is on the cover of Allua's August issue, and she discussed everything from her approach to aging to whether she's had filler to being an underdog. Here are the most controversial things she said. Firstly, she thinks her beauty standard is attainable. She said, if I'm doing it, it's attainable. She said there are many different beauty standards. One of them is Marilyn Monroe. But when I was a teenager, the look was just blonde waifs.
Yeah, that makes me laugh. Because now she's a blonde waif. Ever since she lost 7 kilos in 3 weeks and
She's
dyed her
looking
hair
a
a whole lot like a blonde waif.
Like a normal person probably wouldn't be like, my beauty standard is attainable, because it's like, but you were just born the way that you were born. But also, I don't know what kind of stuff you've had put into your body, Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
But it's not attainable. She said she hasn't had a lot of work done. Now, there's so much controversy. Does she have butt implants? What's she done to her
We
stomach?
say controversy. Did Kim Kardashian have a Brazilian butt? Yep.
But Jessie, she got an X-ray on Keeping Up with the Kardashians and they didn't find anything. So it must be
Did she have a
nothing.
nose job? Oh, yes. Probably. Does she have filler? Absolutely. Oh, I don't have filler. Well, you got the next thing, don't you?
Yeah.
You've got whatever. They don't call it filler anymore. They call it concrete in your forehead. Great. You got that. Kim said that she gets a little bit of anti-wrinkle injections.
I love that she won't call it Botox.
In the space between her brows. Just, it's this really niche thing, anti-wrinkle injections. She said, I've chilled, actually. She just gets laser and anti-wrinkle. Like, I love every sentence. It becomes like, I get this, only this. I only get this and this and this. She said she's never filled her cheeks and she's never filled her lips. The interviewer asked Kim what cosmetic changes she would make to her face.
That's a trap. You shouldn't have asked that.
Actually think that this is
This
a
is
crime
on the interviewer.
of the interviewer.
Yeah, this is on the interviewer. We don't ask that.
We never asked that. Why would we ask that? But Kim...
She didn't want to answer
Sweetie-
it first, and then she did.
Sweetie, the answer that we give people, if they say, what should I get done to my face? The answer is, you are beautiful the way that you are.
Not
And you
when you're
don't,
Kim.
you don't need anything.
No, because Kim works really hard, and she says she would be a really good facial consultant.
She did say that in the interview. She did tell the interviewer just some anti-wrinkle injections and maybe some under-eye filler.
Oh.
The under-eye filler really got me. I was
But
like,
in my nightmares now, so I often have dreams about like big waves coming.
yeah.
My new dream is it's me sitting across from Kim Kardashian, and she's like, and she's just listing it.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious, where do we begin?
And then you say, I didn't ask. And then the nightmare is that she says, you did. And then you wake up. She thinks of herself as an underdog.
I've always been the underdog, always, and that's okay with me. Like if anything, I like for someone to really be pleasantly surprised and maybe expect less and be blown away when maybe I give them more than they thought that I would ever give them.
So Kim said, being on a reality show, that's not respected. Feeling like I need to work harder to show you guys that I'm not the person you think. Kimmy, honey, you're not an underdog at all. And that's why we kind of love you.
Yeah, that's part of your appeal.
Yeah. Jessie, it's time for charges and sentences.
My charge can be put as simply as possible.
And if you look in the law book, you'll find it.
Grime. Being rich and being mad that other people aren't.
Okay, she does get upset by that. She's like, oh, I don't get it. What's your problem?
Yeah, so people get mad that she's rich and she's like, I'm rich. I just don't get why you're not.
Yeah.
Why
And
you're
that
not
feels
making
like your
that.
problem.
Yeah, exactly. Sentence. This is an activity, a sentence, that is not to be televised under any circumstance because it defeats the sentence.
Okay.
Because this is the problem with the Kardashians. Every time they get charged and sentenced, even in a real courtroom, it gets televised, gets made into content, we make money.
Yeah.
This isn't about making money.
No.
Sweetie gets dropped off in a remote New South Wales town.
Okay.
It's doing it tough. Maybe it's affected by floods. And Sweetie tries to get a job because you gotta work. People don't want to work anymore.
You gotta work.
You gotta work. But Sweetie doesn't have any qualifications.
No.
Oh. I don't think she's finished her law thing. She hasn't done the final law thing.
No, she did the baby bar.
You have to do a final.
Oh, no, she's not close to becoming a qualified
she hasn't
lawyer.
done that yet.
I wonder if she'll give up. Anyway.
And so she works as a barista.
Okay.
But baristas have to get up really early. And they don't get paid a lot. They don't get free stuff. They don't get private jets. They don't get jewels. They don't wear Marilyn Monroe's dress. So she's just working constantly for not a great deal of money.
She's like, what am I working for?
What am I working
My house stinks. And it's like, same.
Yeah.
Everyone's house smells.
Exactly. And then she can learn the power of actual work. Because she doesn't work that hard.
She doesn't. She's in an advice-giving era. Well, we all have an advice-giving era. Just a moment where we're like, my life's pretty good. I'll share some tips with you.
The way her face lit up when she thought about her tip. Like it just, you know, when you're asked a question, you go, oh, I've got that.
She was like, I've got the best answer. You're not working hard enough. Kim. Shh.
Because billionaires have to believe that wealth is indexed to hard work. Otherwise, there's no reason why they're billionaires and everyone else isn't.
Yeah.
And it might get overthrown. We might go full Marie Antoinette.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's got to be like, work harder.
One thing Kim's really proud of is the fact that, I don't know where I heard this, but I've seen her say it. She can get her makeup done the night
seen her
before,
say it.
go to sleep, not move in her sleep.
I've seen it on TikTok.
Wake up, live her day, and not have her makeup touched up. She's like, and her face.
That's how hard she works.
Her face lights up and she's like, makeup stays really well on my face.
I love her.
And I'm like, that's so interesting. It slides off my face. But I think it's the quality of the makeup. Anyway, similar to yours, not exactly the same. I charge. Telling people to work, when they were already working.
Ah.
Yeah.
People were at work when they got the advice, I'm pretty sure. And mid-pandemic, a lot of people, they're working more than one job. We're working too hard, Kim. We're tired.
We are. Similar to you, Jessie, I had visit a workplace for research purposes. Okay?
Any
Anyway.
workplace?
Mostly a difficult one.
Say a hospital.
Say
a factory.
Yep, a hospital, a school. Go and be a teacher. Go and be a teacher. That would be interesting. But no, I think you're right that she would be shocked by the lack of Marilyn Monroe dress. She'd be confused about the cameras. She'd be really confused
She'd keep
about why
turning
they're
to
not
the.
there.
She'd be teaching and she'd keep turning.
Yeah.
To the. Which way am I
For, like,
addressing, left or
commentary.
right?
No.
There's no camera.
No.
There's no award ceremony here.
When you watch the Kardashians, you think that it's just like shot in one go, right? Just by how TV makes it look. But obviously they have to shoot things over and over again. I reckon she lives her life by like walking into a room, even when she's not on camera, walks into a room and goes, ugh.
Do that
Walks
again.
back out, does it again. And then says something and then he's like, oh, no, sorry, we'll get that again.
Yes.
Even when she's not being
She's
filmed.
been on the Kardashians for 10 years. Or something.
Yeah. So get a job, any job.
I would love people to share their charges and sentences
Yeah.
for Kimberly Knoll.
Yeah.
Share them. We'll put a question box up on the
Yeah,
twins and we would like you to
sentences.
charge and sentences. People feel very conflicted about Kim. Some people think she's no crime. Others think she's a war criminal.
I think she's uncancelable. And I think it's because her entire brand is around naivety and oblivion. And so you can't be mad that she doesn't know something because she never said that she did. She also doesn't.
She never claimed to stand for anything.
She doesn't.
Those people are
claim
very
to
smart.
she's not patronising or virtue signalling in a bad way, in that she stands for materialism, capitalism. She stands for all the worst things, but she never claimed to
I
stand
just
for
remembered
anything
something
else.
I learned about Kim Kardashian.
Okay.
Kim Kardashian is a vegan. And so Peter, the organisation, decided to name a cow that they saved after her. Did you know this?
I weirdly did.
Did you know the cow's called Kim Kardashian? Okay.
I did.
It was saved from India.
Okay.
It's named Kim Kardashian. They put up a little...
Wait, Kardashian?
Kim Kardashian with 2 Ks. Kim Kardashian. It has 2 friends. One of its friends is named Mina. I don't know why I know that. In the image that they put together, it was Kim alongside Kim Kardashian,
Okay.
and both had bows in their hair. Okay? Do you understand?
Okay.
Can you imagine how upset Kim is?
Oh, she's like, fuck that cow. Fuck that cow.
She's
this
taking
a
my
joke?
name, Kim Kardashian.
Oh, she'd want to trademark Kim Kardashian.
My favourite thing. Favourite thing.
If you want to see the receipts from today's episode,
I'll share that tile of
yeah,
Kim Kardashian.
oh, Kim Kardashian.
Who wore it better?
Follow us at @thetwins_thoughts on Instagram. Leave us a positive review on 5 stars if you feel
That
like
would be
it.
lovely. Please let us know who we should do next.
Yeah.
And we will chat to you next week. This podcast was produced by Emma Gillespie, and the head of podcasts at Mamamia is Eliza Ratliff.
Bye.
Bye. If you love the show, the best thing you can do is become a Mamamia subscriber. Mamamia subscribers get access to every podcast, exclusive videos, and all the great articles on Mamamia. If you believe in women's media, if you believe in a purpose-driven media company like Mamamia, whose core purpose is to make the world a better place for women and girls, then please see the link in our show notes.